Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. So today we've got a couple of maps from slightly lesser experienced creators. That's not to say the maps aren't going to be any good. Today's second map, as voted in by the BonBon buddies over on Patreon, is from a creator on their second map, but their first one since 2018. And if you compare 2018's map, which I haven't reviewed, with this one, you can see similarities in the way that they build and their style. The first map has really blown me away just a little bit. When I looked at the map on the workshop, I thought, no, it's not really going to work that well. It's worth a review. We'll take a look at it. This is why we have this show, because this is where I could be proven wrong, and you could be proven wrong just by looking at the workshop. But first of all, we'll do one of these things. That's right, clicking that like button really does support the channel, gets me seen by more people and helps me grow a little bit more every single day. Thank you for your support. Because you're right to, Azurite Bay by Totoff947 is our very first map. Well, like I say, I thought there was going to be just a little bit too limited in a playable area. I was wrong. Okay, I'm saying it now out loud. I was wrong. There's your start square. We've got terrain heights. Again, look at it. It doesn't look like it's got much playable area. Yeah, maybe it's just the first impression. Resources look like this, pretty much usable, very happy with that. And then if we go off and have a look at Sunset Harbour, if you've got Sunset Harbour, your fishing map will look like this one, just like this. Okay, off to the workshop. Well, what do we need? What do we need? Well, mass transit. Here's a mass transit map. You will need mass transit for this one. There's a nicely written description on the left there as well. And linked on the left, there's a link to the Azurite Bay theme mix. And also there's some settings as well, but Azurite Bay theme mix here, including we've got the Laviante 2.0 theme, generic, temperate, 4K, Nemesis, European summer, and we'll be using relight average as well. So there's that. Now, where do we go? Well, we've reviewed this creator in episode 1233. Well, he got 10 stars. I would say this is definitely a step up from that one. And that was a very nice map as well. Very aesthetically pleasing, that last map as well. Now, this turn off here, if we were to connect this road up with... See that one over there? That's sticking out the mountain over here? Well, if we were to connect those up, that would be a direct route to the start square. But we haven't got them connected up. We are following the highway because we can't get to the start square down that way. Because they're not connected. It's fine. Listen, we don't necessarily want traffic shortcutting, do we? It's not always the... I think it is. Sirens coming. BonBonBingo players are going to be very happy in a moment. For those that have got sirens anyway. I can hear them in the distance. They're not coming though. Maybe they're taking a different route. Maybe they're going to stop coming past my window. Oh, that'd be amazing. Right, so anyway, we've got a highway, which I'm going to say is very nicely done. This is a very mountainous map. I think we can all agree there's plenty of mountains on this map. And finding a slick, clean route through the mountains, it's not the easiest. You can end up with those old shark's teeth everywhere. And so far, noticeably, no shark's teeth. Anyway, next turn off here, if we were to take this turn off, take that road down there and connect it up with that road that's running through the flatlands there, that would also take you directly down to the start square. You can see the theme here. Once you've got the city being built, and then you start working out these ways and connecting those up, then that'll be because when you start building the city, that's when you get the big influx of traffic. You get ongoing traffic. Oh, look over here. Ooh, it's a little forestry area. But yes, that's where you have the massive influx of traffic. You don't necessarily want it cutting in, shortcutting. You want it going a specific route. But of course, our one intersection where the specific route is going to be a little bit heftily used. Don't go for a big population push on this map straight from the off, because you may get a little bit of clogging on our one intersection. But just build steady, just steady, you know, regular build, no speed building here, please, children. Just look at the route this highway takes. It's very nicely done. Look at the mountains as well. It's the mountains on this map that have really blown me away. We'll have a closer look at those a bit later on, a little bit later on, I promise you, because I am really impressed by one specific aspect of the mountains. I think Totov has probably watched the Watts map and gone, I know what BonBon's going to pick me up on. I'm going to spend some time making sure he doesn't. We do have a pillar on the highway. Okay, technically speaking, that's a fail. Technically speaking, I'm not going to break any sweats over it though, because let's face it, it's not going to change gameplay. But it is a technical minor fail. Anyway, once we get over here, we've got the road separates up. We've got two separate routes down into the actual start square itself. These two highways, and they're connected here and there. Highways, one national road, one regular road there. And we've got some little tunnels that connect us up through little mountains, like here, little ridges, all very pretty. And then you're down into the start square territory down here. And it all kind of stops with the where are we? Where's this the road? Yeah, this bay, the bottom of this bay here. It's all in this area. Look at the buildable area here. It's just very nice to get started with. I mean, you're gonna want more, but to get started with, that's very nice. But yeah, then we have rail. And of course, it's a mount to this map, which means the rail's going to be all higgledy-piggledy and all roller coaster, isn't it? Well, no, because Totov isn't a crappy old builder, are they? That's not to say if you've ever done higgledy-piggledy roller coaster, it doesn't mean that you're a crappy old builder. But on a map like this, I think it would mean. I think it would be really crappy. Anyway, we've got rail that goes into a tunnel here and emerges. Trust me on this one. Over here, there we go. Over here, this little elevated bit over here. This is part of the same bit of rail. And then that nips into the mountains over here, and then emerges all the way over here. So yeah, and there are others. Obviously, this is just one of the routes, but I'm not going to show you all of them. You got the idea of the standards and the style and how it works. Yeah, I think you have. Yeah, it's very good work. Just look at the mountains. I mean, there are a lot of mountains. My fear was there were too many mountains. At first glance, I looked at this and went, But you've got this valley to build in. You've got this coastal area to build in, broken up by the mountains in the middle. You've got a little valley over here, breaks up into the waterways there. Very interesting waterways in that area as well. So again, all very interesting. And then to make sure there is enough buildable space, we have the second long island. I'm not quite sure how I buy into this geologically speaking, but in terms of gameplay, I think it makes the map a lot more interesting, and it definitely turns it into a playable map. So if you think of this more as a fantastical Japanese style map, I think this is where it's going to turn out to be a real life location. I'm going to be hanging my head in shame, but I like this. I like this lotsly. I do. Right, okay, the rivers. Oh man, you think I'm gonna sing the rivers up as highly as the mountains? I'm not, but they are good. They are good. I am not complaining about the rivers. The rivers are good. We've got a little bit of flooding here. Right, let's pull the camera back. Pull the camera back. Wee bit of flooding at that location. And that's what drops the rivers below the mountain standards. Okay. This is a very brave river as well. The route that they've taken with this river is... I wouldn't even have thought of this. I just wouldn't. I would have had to completely re-engineer the mountains to allow for a river to follow the route that they've gone with here. But just look at that again. Look at how light and tight and twisty this is. This is a sort of river that will get lull points, that will glitch. Because where it's really shallow, the water will want to clump. And there's no clumping on this. This is shockingly good. Okay? Now, admittedly, most people aren't going to see this because this is just up. You're not going to be building up here. They've gone to a lot of effort for something that's never going to be seen. And I applaud you, Totov. I applaud you. That is a magnificent river. And it's not even the most magnificent river. Right, ignore the slight glitching on the side there. That's just one of those things. But we have intersection marking tool in operation, and there's room for improvement here and there. It's generally quite good, the intersection marking, but there's room for a little bit of improvement here and there. Okay, now, I did say about mountains. Look at the tree painting on the mountains. You know, I'm not a big fan of trees growing on cliffs, unless it's done consistently. Well, where are the trees on the cliffs at all? Now, consider that this map is, at, what, 50% mountains? Where are the trees on the cliffs? Hey, where? Where are they? This is right on the edge of the map. This is where you could get away with letting a few grow. I'm spellbound by the amount of time that they've spent removing the trees from the cliff faces. This is absolutely amazing. And then we have upper rivers. Okay, this one's not quite as tight and as twisty, and it's more scenic, and it's going to split out and do a few little things. And then you've got this interesting area over here where we got a couple of vanilla piers in there. I'm not even going to zoom in on the river's too interesting to even look at the vanilla piers, but yeah, a couple of vanilla piers with little houses there as well. A very nice little touch, but we're not looking at them. And then we go into the buildable area, including everybody's favourite factory. And do you know what? That is just very nice. Very, very nice. Got some pre-cut harbours with the Essential Lighthouse. Ah, isn't she lovely? There's another Essential Lighthouse over here. Does exactly the same as well. Where are you? Over here. Right down here. And that is also, isn't she lovely? An orange. Oh, lovely. Anyway, yes, enough of that. The beaches, on the whole, are very good. When I say on the whole, look at this. Look at the quality, the shape of the beach, the depth of the beach is very nice, okay? Because not all of them are exceptional. I'll leave you to find one without my help. There's another exceptional one here, another exceptional one over here, and then there's another beach around the corner as well. But yeah, you don't need my assistance in finding beaches that don't quite have that lovely slip quietly into the ocean to help. You don't need my help with that sort of thing, do you? No, I'm pretty sure you're skilled enough to see where a beach doesn't look quite right. Okay, now these cuttings are pretty slick. But there's always a danger of shark's teeth. We didn't get any there, but we did get some on this one here. And if this was me as a map maker, I just want to run a softening tool over the top of that just to take those edges out. Just to take them out. There's another place as well where we have that, but it's pretty rare to see shark's teeth on this particular map. Pretty rare to see blue mantle, but we have got a little bit of blue mantle here and here. This is just on the island, where the rail meets the island. And you may have spotted another case of that a little bit earlier on during our flyover of the rail, and you were right, there was. But again, easily fixed. And I do have a tutorial if you need help in removing blue mantle. So just search my channel for blue mantle and you'll find it. Shipping routes, very nicely done. Actually, very nice. I'm not even going to zoom in on this one. It goes around the island. We've got all of the shipping triangles. It's a very smooth, swooping loop. And I'm not even going to feature it because, frankly, it's perfect. Okay? It's perfect. Water flow in the start square is a little bit light. There is a little bit of movement. If you have a look here, you can just see a little bit of the arrows going around there. And then if I have a little look over here by the Essential Lighthouse, the arrows are going in the same direction. There's a little bit of motion, but just be a little bit careful. Maybe stick up some water towers, or make sure that you're following that flow of that water. It is very subtle. You might have some problems, but be good. You'll be good until you buy the second tile. Okay, second tile, then you can do what you like. Just stick some sewage in that beautiful blue, azure blue water. That's where the name came from, Azurite Bay, you know? That's what they tell us in the description. Anyway, what do you think of this first map? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Hit the I button now or the link in the description. It will take you to the voting page where you can vote for free. Just make sure you're voting on Azurite Bay as you do so. Right, what do I think of Totoff's work? Well, I think this is very pretty. Oh, it's very pretty, isn't it? Nicely designed, a lot of work and effort's gone into it, and a very strong theme mix. I think it's really good. Is it iconic? Is it one that I'm going to absolutely remember? I don't know that I will, but I'm enjoying looking at it now. So let's go for a slightly below middle 4. Detailing, I'm going to say pretty much the same. Very strong work. Could be a little bit better in places. 1 or 2 blue mantles. I think overall it deserves a 4th star. Let's go for a medium low 4 star. And then gameplay potential. I thought this was where I was going to fail. But the more I look at it, the more I see it's a very nicely playable map. Like to see some water flow in that start square, but middle 4 for me. It's a very good map indeed. Azurite Bay by Totof947. A definite improvement from 10 stars to 12 stars. And, of course, the seal of approval. Because I approve. And we've got another map coming right up after this. A little bit different from this one. I think a few of you are going to be takers for it. Be right back. And so on with today's second map. A creator who's made one map before, back in 2018, and they're back now with this one. Now, they have, by all appearance, because I didn't review that map in 2018, they've made some improvements to their... Obviously, they've got 4 years more experience and skill, and this one's definitely a lot more interesting. But if you like this particular map, but you want something similar, but of the same style, then definitely check out their workshop, because their one from 4 years ago might be a good one. I've not checked it. It might not be, but it looks good at first taste anyway. First, Aiur of Aiur, Superior City by EDDbsb EDDbsb. Yeah. There's your start square. Okay. This is a very, very different map from that last one. We're talking more fantastical. Apparently, it's a city-state country off the... Well, not too far from Brazil, apparently. Look at that. It's terrain heights. Big, fat and flat buildable space in the middle. Lots of fat, fertile space there as well. And if you've got Sunset Harbour and you want to do some fishing, we have a mix of all of the fishies there in different locations. Right, off to the workshop. What do we need? Well, if we scroll up, you'll see, yes, surprise, surprise, it's a mass transit map. You will need mass transit for this one. We've got the acacia tree, coconut trees, pampas grass, the stone pine set, and the sugar maple full set. No controller and section marking tool are in operation, but if you haven't got them, it doesn't matter. Don't worry about those two. If you don't really want to have them, you'll be fine. Now, I'm not entirely sure why. I can't work it out. It's not tree count. I promise you it's not tree count. But if you're noticing a little bit of lag here, there was. And I can't figure it out. There's nothing about this map which should force my beefy PC to have a bit of a stuttery frame rate. But we got one. Now, it might just be my PC. It might, I don't know. I have no idea. But yes, I suffered a little bit of frame rate rag. Frame rate rag? Yeah. So I've got some frame rate rag. Easy for me to say. And I'm sharing it with you. But what can we do about these things? But yes, now, you'll notice there was no theme listed in the requirements. And yet this doesn't look vanilla, does it? That's because it's not vanilla. What was loaded up was the Cedar Valley 4K theme. And we're using the realistic 1.2 LUT. Decided to run with that because it loaded automatically, but I did notice. Now, if you don't have, and we have to assume that you don't because it's not listed as a requirement, this map would load with the vanilla temperate theme. Our first intersection there, a little bit phallic, just a little bit pointy phallic. I don't know, but more like an African mask if you hold it up the other way, possibly. Anyway, where were we? Yes. So I'm going to have to rate this map aesthetically based on what I imagine it's going to look like with the vanilla temperate theme, which is not going to be as pretty. So yes, if you've got Cedar Valley, and why would you not? It's a very nice theme. Then you're going to be okay. Also, you may notice we have rail running between the roads here, which very nicely brought out on that junction intersection kind of thing. And we're into sort of like the start square. Well, we're not start square, but in the main buildable area there here. That's it. Start square is all the way up there. We're probably 3 tiles away still. Running down this long straight road down the middle. Now, I was talking about long straight roads a couple of episodes ago, wasn't I? And how I feel that on a dynamic map, it kind of doesn't work. Look at this beautiful intersection. This is superb work. Yeah, so I was talking about that back then. I feel on this map it does kind of work because it's really built into the design of the map, which you'll see, I feel, when we pull back a little bit. Because right in the middle, we've got this square intersection. You may have saw the square intersection right at the start of the show. This is your square intersection. That's not very square, and it's definitely going to keep traffic flowing really slickly through the middle of the map. And that is a really nice design piece and a really strong piece of working infrastructure that's going to keep your city flowing. Because normally you get like a clover leaf in the middle, and that's just going to clog everything up, isn't it? That's good work. EDD, if you're watching this, that's good work. Heading down in towards the start square. This looks like the folded highway. I thought this was folded highway. It's not. It's just shadow, which can indicate a little bit of blue mantle. You can see a little bit of blue mantle on this side, a slight hint of blue mantle on the other side. There's just a little bit of terrain stress going on there, but it's not actually folded highway. Then over here we've got this, I think it's the start square intersection here, going on here. This area here is ripe for building. Oh man, that's ripe for building. But I'm liking all of that. I am liking all of that. Now, oh no, that's not the start square. This is it. This is your start square. I'm so lost. I took a right instead of a left. Yeah, down here. This down here is your buildable start square. I'm completely lost now. It's such a simple map. It's like split into 4 quarters. There you go. That's where you're going to start building. I take it back. I'm so sorry. I was misleading. Yeah, that's where you're going to build. You can build back into the map. And yeah, that's pretty neat. Pretty neat. I recorded the flyover last night. I've had a good night's sleep, and that didn't help. That didn't help. I'm sorry. I should watch my flyovers before doing them. But, you know, I've got work to do today as well. Right, okay, we've got some, well, bold buildable space. It's in 4 quarters. We've got this section split up by those 2 highways. This section over here with a big old reservoir going on there. And this section over here with some like a swathe of fields. We've got a big old loop of bay going on there. A couple of lower tier fields to build into as well. Then we come over this quarter over here. It's a lot more hilly. We do have like a deep valley to build into on that quarter. And then if we turn the camera one more time, sorry for the lagging going on here. It's as bad for me as it is for you, I promise you. And then over here we've got, again, just some like small, twee little buildable areas in that section. All told, I think there's enough buildable space on the map. Right, okay. Shipping routes, we do have a couple. Shipping routes! We do have a couple of shipping routes on the map. One on each corner, which loop into and loop out of and around on the bays. So you're going to have ships coming in and out of your bays on that one and over here as well, whether you want them to or not. So there's something. For those of you that don't like loops, then I wouldn't be signing up to this map. If you don't care, then plenty of buildable space. Water flow in the start square. Where's the start square? Over here. Right, okay. We have strong water flow in the start square on these rivers. Got a couple there as well. You should be well sourced for water for pumping and drawing, and that strong water will of course take the sewage away really very quickly indeed, which is good, which is what we want. Right, okay. Let me go back into. It's a bit wheezy today. I'm trying not to wheeze, but it's happening. What can we do? Right. So as a map, it's very nicely broken up into quadrants. It's also very nicely ripped apart under this particular intersection, where we have all 4 of the blue mantles. Ew, 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 ew. Again, I do have a blue mantle tutorial. I'll try to remember to link it, but if not, just search my playlist for blue mantle. You'll be fine. Okay, we've got this river that comes in from the right there. It's quite a nice looking thing. The merge into the main river doesn't quite work. We've just got a little bit of, it just doesn't, almost out of water at that point. Almost. And I'm not entirely sure I buy into the shape of it. But do you know what? It'll do. It'll do. Then we have the dam, big old dam. This is going to provide you with plenty of electricity to get started. And yeah, that's a very neat thing indeed. Ooh, it's a castle. Ooh, it's a flooded castle. Listen, it's a fantastical map. I can let this be on the fantastical map, yeah? It's like the devil went, no, I'm taking your castle from you, pulling it down into the underworld. And again, this is a weird quarry. Again, on this map, it absolutely does work. But it's a little bit weird, and I approve of it on this particular map. Don't think you're always going to get away with something as crazy as that. Now, intersection marking tool is in operation. Again, the standards on this one are pretty strong. Same thing as we've seen very recently, though. Let me see if I can't find one. And it's all down to the line width. Let me try over here. Oh, it's in the shadow. I'm trying to find one that's not in the shadow. But where are we? Hang on. Let's go find one up this way. There we go. Yes, the line width right there. You can see they just could be narrowed up a little bit. So yes, just little things, just wee little things. It's all very strong, really. Then down here, I think the final thing we'll have a little look at, just one of these little offshoots roads down, little small buildable areas. You can see we have the shipping route living around there, so maybe you'd have a harbour down here. Maybe this is going to be a big industrial harbour area. I mean, there are plenty of options. There are plenty of options, and it's just the detailing's just very interestingly done. It's very, very bold, not quite as subtle as the first map, but you don't always have to have subtle. Sometimes it can be a little bit like in your face. Look at this. Just look at what I've done. But at the middle of the map, just the intersection in the middle is very, very nice. All the intersection work, in fact, and the way that the map is broken up into quadrants is very clean as well. I'm good with it. I'm good with it. The overall map design is very nice. Anyway, what do you think of it? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Hit the I button now in the top right corner of your screen, or the link in the description. It will take you to the voting page where you can vote for free. And make sure you're voting on first AR of Air. Superior City, EDDbsb was the creator. Administrative region of Air, I think that is, if I remember rightly. Anyway, right, aesthetically, it's a very bold map. It's a very bold design. I don't know. Well, first of all, I think it might possibly be edging into 4 stars. It might, on design alone, okay? But we haven't got the Cedar Valley 4K theme. We've got the vanilla temperate. I've got to lose a little bit off. There's no way it can be 4 stars by losing a little bit there. So I'm going to go for a fairly high 3 stars. Detailing, there's plenty of it, and it's mostly of a good standard. The blue mantles and the bits I have shown you mean I can't go. I'm going to give it to benefit. I'm just going to squidge it into 4 stars. There you go. Gameplay looks interesting. I think it's not inspiring enough for me, but I'm going to go for a medium high 3. It's not going to let you down, but I don't know. It just doesn't quite grab me. First AR of Air, a Superior City by EDDbsb. All told, I approve of a lot of this. It hasn't quite grabbed me. Not in the way that I want to be grabbed. Please, somebody grab me. Please. Somebody. Blue eyes, blonde hair, curves. I don't mean that big 16 stone like wrestler bloke there. No. 8 feet tall. No, not him. Anyway. Thanks for watching, for commenting, for liking and for subscribing. If you're still here, you're part of the 20 and out elite. Prove it with the words of the day in the comments. And I'll be back on Friday and hopefully a live stream tomorrow night as well. See you then. Thanks for watching.